Alright, so this is a quick, I guess you'd say, informational video. If you make videos for walking war robots now, if you make videos for that, then you have to make your thumbnail for your video. So this is really cool that they put this out. This is a fan kit. If you're on Facebook and you are linked to the War Robots page, the link to get to this page is there as well. But if you just want to type it in, I just highlighted the web link in order to get here, and then you just download the files. The largest one is going to be the robot renders, and it actually opens up in Photoshop, so I'm going to show you that as well. And then if you're an editor, you play around with Photoshop, you already know what you can do with this, but they're very clean overlays. I actually went, before this came out, I initially went through all the different, when you click on the different tabs here, and I copied these are actually Pngs, so you can actually come in here and get copies of the robots or weapons, and the maps in here as well. I don't know if I really like the maps too much, so I'll actually look at the ones that they just put out, which is pretty cool. And then the logo, so you can actually have the Walking with Robots logo, so you can kind of make your actual YouTube video look pretty official. So I'm going to close this out, and I have Photoshop already open. I have CS5. I don't know if you don't have Photoshop, you might use something like GIMP. There's a lot of free video, or I'm sorry, a lot of free graphics editors out there that you can use in order to do different little edits, but I found it's really good for YouTube videos because I didn't know it. I've been doing videos for a long time. I took a nice, I would say, about a year or two break off of YouTube, but when I returned, I found out that I could actually make thumbnails that were designed specifically for my video. So instead of me trying to find a good scene out of the video to show as a thumbnail, I could actually just create a thumbnail, which is a lot easier. And now with them giving you this fan pack, it's so much easier because now you can go into Photoshop. So these are the pictures that I downloaded initially, and some of them, most people know how to use Photoshop. You can cut things out. So some of these images, not all of them, but the ones you see that have like my clan logo information on it, that was actually something I cut. I just used a picture off my phone and then I edited it. And so let's go ahead and jump into these different downloads. So I downloaded all the different ones. There's a logo pack, and I'm gonna open this up in Photoshop so it'll be a little bit easier for you to see it. Okay, let's bring this up. All right, so there you go. It's a really clean image. That's the image. So you can go in, and this is for fans, so you can create your own little movie or whatever with it. But I'm glad they put this out. It actually helps to get their product out there among the masses, because now people can actually be a lot more creative in their design and also really put things together, look really clean. That's a big thing about creating videos. So that's the one with the logo. Let's go into the next one, artwork. What's in here? Okay, so on this one, I'm just gonna browse through them. I use a photo viewer. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so if you want to have any kind of War Robots wallpaper, I mean, these are some really good. I'm really glad they put these out. Oh, these are really good. These are really good. So I'm actually just now looking at it. So if I sound excited, that's why. That right there, that's epic. If you play the moon map, you'll see that they put the American flag on the moon, which I really like that. Like, you know, I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes, but that was a really epic moment. Ooh, I loved it. See, I could see this as a movie one day. Like when I first started playing this, I thought about Pacific Rim, but if they wanted to move this over to PC and maybe do you know, or even a game system, which they may do that one day, I think they do really well because the controls are not really hard to do. I actually use the Windows PC, and I use a Logitech F310 game controller, so I use that to move the bot right to left, and then I use the mouse to kind of turn. You can use it for to do everything, but it kind of hangs up just a little bit. So I don't use it for everything. I still use a keyboard. It's probably best on a touchpad or some type, but I found this a lot easier as far as recording, seeing the actual screen, a bigger screen. As we all know, we're so used to big screens. If you're a gamer, you usually want the biggest screen to get your hands on. These are some really good pictures. Really good pictures. These are some really good pictures. I could see them starting a little toy line, or not a toy line, but just maybe a collector's line. I think that would be a good idea for them to start a collector's line. Maybe have some of the older bots people purchase. I think Blithrum, I think that's how you say his name. I could be wrong, but they sent him a Raijin, a little statue Raijin. It was pretty awesome. Like, man, I love that. So this is, I think that's the first one. Oh, no, I'm still going. Okay, I'm still going. This is probably Canyon. Yeah, this is Canyon. I would say this would be the Canyon map. And she's one of the ladies on the very first. I think this was one of the first ones. I don't know if it's the first one, but I remember this image on the front of one of the games when they did an update. I've never seen this one. That's pretty awesome. Some of these photos are just epic. Like, these are definitely really high quality pictures. The Fury. It's just, I like this. This is really, I'm glad they put this out. These are really good. Okay, that's the first one. Okay, so we're started over. So that's the actual art. And if you're on any of the pages, you'll see people create, like, there's one called Raven. Oh, I don't even know if I got it on my computer. I'm not gonna spend all day since I'm going through here. Now these are the leagues. So now when you have the leagues, if you want to do something, you can actually show the league on your video with the little image. You might show this as, so when people pop your video up and they know, okay, I'm watching a championship league, silver, bronze. And to me, don't be worried about what league you're in, because every league there's something to learn from that league. So a lot of times people want to always be the top, which is great. You want to be the top, but the thing about it is everybody is not in that league at times, and people are moving towards that. So it's good to watch people when they are in the top league, but it's also good to share your experience where you're at and maybe give tips that you're learning on the way. So these are the different images for the leagues. I have a spreadsheet. I'm sick when I play games, so I tend to create spreadsheets and have information. But these are very high quality. I didn't open them in. I opened one in Photoshop. Excuse me, sorry. I opened one in Photoshop just to see how it looks. Of course, I want to look at the championship one. Actually, you know what? The Legends is pretty crazy. So let's look at that one. Okay, so they're all pings, as you can see. Background. I'll zoom in on that a little bit. Let's see. So that's a really, really high quality video. That's crazy. It reminds me of WoW, because in WoW there's a headpiece you can get in WoW that looks kind of crazy like that. I don't have it. I don't want it, but apparently it's popular because I see it in the game at times. So those are the league breakdowns. And then let's go into the maps, which that was one I was looking for, were maps. So you have Canyon, you got the top view, the one with the beacons. I'm just going to change my view here so I don't have to zoom into these, hopefully. Let's go ahead and do preview pane. Okay, so that's Canyon. Most of these you can actually find on their page. So if you were to go on the actual, that MOBI website, so this shows you where the beacons are currently. I think some of them, they made adjustments. I remember Dead City, they adjusted it so that you could get through. With some of the bigger bots, there were places you couldn't get through, like the Raijin had a lot of trouble getting things, little breakpoints, and they made an adjustment on the map for that. This one I didn't have, I don't believe. So basically each one of these has a beacon. That's the new moon map that that's the one I was telling you about. Has the American flag on it. I don't know which side it's on. I had a video and I hadn't even posted it, but yeah, it's got the American flag on it. You got the power plant. So, you can strategically use these for videos. You could show maybe a lot more detail on where you're at in a specific part of the battle. You might zoom in on it and kind of use this as like an intel shot, zooming in into a battle. I just come up with ideas, but you might take that as an idea. Like, you might use like an Earth view and then you zoom from Earth and use a satellite footage to find the specific battle, and then when you zoom in, then you go into your game footage. Just different ideas you might decide to use. Now this Oh, okay. I've never seen it from this view. This is, I believe, it's Yamada. Yeah, I've never seen it top view. I've never seen it from this view, so it looked totally different. That's so cool. But I always see it at an angle. I've never looked at it from the top. So this map's probably been there, but I know this view I never. They're both the same view, but still, I've never seen that from that view. All right, so that's all the maps, and let's go into the overlays. Okay, so these are definitely for Photoshop or whatever editor you have, chat window, control wheel. So these are what you would see in the game. This is probably the bar at the top that has information. I'll try and find a screenshot of the game. I got a bunch of those. So this is just parts of the game. So you can go in there and create like your own little image of your game on like the screen. So that's pretty cool. What else you got? The robots. Now these are really high detail, and these are the ones that I went download, but I didn't download these. Some of these may be the same ones. They look kind of familiar. Yeah, so I have some of these, but these are already, the background's already removed. They're all pings. So in one of my videos that I'm gonna upload, I actually kind of do a break in the scene, and then I show one of these robots, just kind of showing you what it was, what they had loaded on it, and try and give you a quick tip that I learned when it's dealing with somebody with certain weapons on their bots. You know, how you can tell when it's about to fire, when it's charged up, things like that. I think those are small things. Now this right here is the new regatta. I think I have images of the old one, so these are fairly new, but that's the new regatta. You'll see a lot of those in the game pretty soon if you haven't already seen them, because they brought them back. I had like 3, then I stopped using them, and then you have your Photoshop. So I've been in this one. I'm not gonna open that one. I'm open. I know you like. I want you to open this one. I'm just gonna open the Butch. I don't have a Butch, so I'm gonna open this one. And I noticed on they load all the weapons how they would be loaded, which is pretty cool. So over to the right, over here, I'm going to, if you click the, as you know, or if you ever use Photoshop, you can turn off a layer. So Photoshop works in layers. So I'm just going to turn off these layers. They also have a bottom layer. So these are actual complete pings. Okay. And I'm going to zoom in, and we're going to bring in, so let's say I want to highlight I'm going to highlight the Butch, and I want to highlight it with a particular weapon. Well, look at that. Boom. I can put the big boy on there. What else? Let's see. Now let me see if they have both sides. You may have to move it to the other side. Actually, all you would do is just duplicate it, but let me see. Oh, there it is. Right. Let's see if that's it. Right. Yeah, okay. So basically just go to the right side and put that weapon on. So they really made this really convenient for you as far as doing your video edits. I actually highlighted all those real quick so you can show it with different weapons, and they lined it up perfectly for you, so you can actually, now that's the back of them, so left down, which means that's the back of the bot behind them. So you can go in and just really play with this and see how you like it. But it's really good for you when you're doing your videos, because now you can just go in, you already have your robots cut out, you go ahead and just swap them out with the parts you want. And so I didn't do the back of them, so, but they have it all listed, so you can actually see the bot with weapons, without weapons, and depending on what you're doing in your video, that'll be very helpful, because you could say, well, you know, I'm running a Butch with only 2 weapons, I want to see how it would do. I'm running a Butch with 1 weapon, like basically 2. That'd be kind of crazy. 1 on the front, 1 on the back, and that's it. Just kind of see how you can do with that, just little stuff like that. I know one of the people's channels, it might have been, was it Chain? I think Chain Fire, one of those, but they were talking about just going, or it might have been Stu. I think it's Stu. I don't know, but basically we're talking about doing a battle with just like 3 bots. I think the bots got trashed, so they decided just run with 3 bots and see how long they could last. So stuff like that. Using these, you can really get into that and actually show some really cool stuff. So I'm gonna close this out on this one, and I'm going to, let's see, I think that's it. So you got the Butch holiday. Now what's the holiday? Let me see. Oh, you know what, I think that's the holiday, like the, let's see, Doc Holiday. Okay, I forgot about the dock. Okay. Yeah, I see this probably more than a butch, but I want a butch just because that's more firepower. And I picked up an extra treb. I said twib. An extra trebuchet, just in case I'm able to get one. Because I know you can only get them during the events. And so you have an event coming up this weekend. I'm not sure if it will be available, but I'm pretty sure it will be because it's the only time you can get it. And I'm not actually paying for it. So, and I don't knock the events because I know people they actually try to stream people winning items, but I've never won like a robot off of it. I think I got a Griffin and a Griffin and what's the other bot? Let me look in here. Duh. A Griffin and a Patton. Those are only two bots. Now I've gotten a lot of gold. I've gotten good gold. You know, I would say I've gotten at least 100 to 200 gold just from playing the events, and I usually don't get really far up the bar when it comes to the chest. So to me, that's really good. So if you're struggling getting gold and you're like, I need gold to buy stuff, you need to play an event. Play as much as you can during the event. You will get gold. I usually don't open my chests like soon as I get them. I usually wait till I get a bunch. There are different techniques out there you can try and find that may give you a better chance of getting something good. But for me, usually I get stuck on gold. It's 5 gold, 10 gold, but it's consistent gold. So I'll take that even if I don't get, a robot. Like I would like to get a bot I don't have. I have pretty much all the bots except for the Butch and the, what is it? The Butch and I just said the Holiday. Everything else I have. But as you can see on here, really good footage. I love the Carnage. I'm going to pop in here and look at this puppy. Okay, so they have the actual, ooh, okay, so I didn't notice that. So let me check. So it looks like they have the skins as well. Oh, nice. Okay, so this is really good. So you had the skins on here as well. So if you want to do the skins, I'm glad I looked at that. Great. So I'm going to look for, ooh, I closed that. Let's look for, what's another one? You got the skin for that. The Fury has like 3 or 4. Let me see if they have the newest ones, which would be the Natashal. That would be the new, and they might have it. Let's see. And each one has a different angle on the robot, so that's why it has 1 and 2. They may be standing in front, they may be to the side. So if you're really into being creative with this, it's gonna help you out tremendously because now you have all the weapons cut out very cleanly. You don't have to go in there and try and make sure this is cut out. So there you go, the Natashal. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off all the layers that have, and that's all I'm doing. If you look to the right side, you'll see left and all that. I don't have the zoom option for the learning, but you can see my mouse over here. I just kind of jiggle it around so you can find it to the right side here. And so I'm gonna take off all the weapons. Okay, I took off all the weapons. Let's see if, okay, so they don't have it for this one. So maybe they put this out before this past weekend when they added the skins. I don't see it on this one, but since you have this, all they will do is probably drop a new one out there that will have the skin on it. Let me check one more that had a skin for a while. The Griffin's had a skin for a while. Let's see if it's got skin options. I didn't even check that for the boa. I didn't even use my boa, but okay, there they go. So check this out. So we're gonna go in. I'm gonna turn all the weapons off of it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and kill this part. Yeah, left arm. Okay, so now you can see it clear. I'll zoom in on the puppy there. Booyah. Alright, so if you want to see that one, this is really cool. They have all the skins on it. The red. So yeah, you can do a lot with this, and then you have your standard. So I'm going to look for one more just so you can see it if you've never seen it. There's a Raven one out here. I got a lot of stuff. I'm one of them people. Did I put it on here? Let's go back. I'm going to look for it. If not, I'm going to cut this out of the video. So that's the cool thing about editing is you can take things out the video. So this is the Raven one. I'm going to open this one. This is one I wish they would put in the game. This was a fan created one. As you can see, it's not as clear. I tried to cut it out of a photo. This is the original photo. So I didn't spend all day cutting it and things like that. But this is the original photo. It was on Facebook. And Raven, I'm believing when I look at the design, I think about Zoids. It was a robot cartoon about people running these giant robots. They had lions, they had dinosaur type robots. Raven was a young boy, had a pretty had a kind of cool tat. I don't say it's tattoo. I bet it was probably like an injury, so to speak. But you know how they do it. They make an injury look cool. So he had this kind of cut near his eye, but he had a it was a Zoid, and they had certain Zoids had these special abilities, and they called, I think they were called Genosaur X or something like that. But his I think the final one of the bots was like black and had this kind of red accents to it, and that might be where they're bringing that from, or they could be somewhere I might be totally in left field. But I'm gonna go with that because I'm recording myself right now, and I need to be the expert. So we're gonna go with that. So I'm gonna close this out right now. Boom, that's out. But as you can see, very high detailed images. And then if you want to add weapons to it, boom, you got your rockets. You want to do the other one, you want to do it with a different type of weapon on the other side. So they really, I think this is a really good move on their part to put this out. That's really cool. So aphids, spirals, and terrain. And what would I do on the last one? Let's see what the last. Where the last one? Let's see what I'm gonna rock on the last one. Yeah, terrain. I'm gonna go with terrain. That's what I'm gonna go with that. So that's what you got right there. So I think that's gonna wrap it up. Let's go back real quick. I think that's gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna go ahead and shrink this down. I think. Nope, can't shrink that down. Let's just go backwards. Okay, the Griffins. Yeah, so that's it. I think that's it. The robot. Oh, weapons. So the last thing was weapons. Basically the same thing. You go in and you can see the weapons. As you see, this is aphid, very detailed, and they do the front and the back of the weapon, which is cool. So if you're into creating different things, I mean, you can do a lot with this. You could have broken weapons on the ground of a robot that's been fighting, and they're down to the last one. You can do a lot of stuff with this. So just use your creative mind. Just turn loose. Don't get caught up looking at everybody else. But these are super high detail, like like very high detail photos of the weapons. So you could really use this a lot. You can create some stuff, use a video editor, and do all kind of things. So that is the last one. The biggest one that takes the download is the robot renders. This one takes the longest. Let's see, what was the other one I saw? Yeah, so one is just the regular robots. That's just robots. But if you want the one with the Photoshop option, which that one's probably the best as far as having a clean overall robot, that's going to be the robot renders. And I think it was like 3 gigs to download. I'm going to check the properties. I think it's like 2 or 3 gigs. Let's see. Oh, a little bit over that. So, but mine are unzipped. So if it's zipped, I think it's going to be a little bit less. I think that's 4 gigs. So robot renders, let's just see if it'll give me. Okay, 2.72 gigs. So all together, if you download all of these puppies, let's see, and you, and then we do this real quick and see what it looks like. So if you download all of the different packs, it's going to be 3.37 gigs. So whatever you use, just make sure you have 4 gigs on it. And then when you unzip it, it's going to be a lot more, but not too much. So I'm just do that real quick. Let's do that real quick. So 4.79 gigs, so 5 gigs. So make sure you have at least 5 gigs on whatever device or storage drive you put this on. You should be able to unzip them, and the max when you unzip everything be 4.79 gigs. And I think all together it may double, may not. Nope. So it still shows the same because those are unzipped files. So mine shows 4.79 gigs for all of that, basically 5 gigs. And that is it. So make sure you go get your fan art. You can also pull art off of the main site, but that makes it so much easier. And you can create, all kind of different little things with that, just to have those videos. If you use programs like HitFilm or any kind of editor that allows you to do 3D, work in 3D, you can do a lot. with these images. Like, you can do so much with these images. So I hope that helps you in your ventures of creating your War Robots movies, and even your other movies. You know, you can come up with all kind of things with this, but this is a really cool addition. I want to do a quick video. I'm using OBS software, so I moved it over. It looks crazy, right? You can do dual input output on your recording, which is really cool. That was the first time I've been able to do that. Change your screen capture, make it to single, and all of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign out. If you got any questions, hit me up in the comments, and as always, choose like over death. Talk to you later. Deuces. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment if you enjoyed this video.